Alright guys, so we're gonna finally wrap this magma up. For you it's just the beginning. So I guess we're gonna talk about the magma. The magma. There's gonna be an up close version where hopefully I get some of that up close stuff done. I re-wick it and I show you guys how to wick it where it won't flood out of the chambers. Now with this magma, I've been having an issue with it flooding out of the chambers. When I first made this video, this is like my 4th attempt, I hated this thing. It just kept flooding. Then there's a big juice well, but that means jack crap because the coils are off to the side. And I just had problems with it. And then later, when I figured a better way to wick this, I freaking loved it. And I thought it would never leak. And I just put like 30 drops in there and it leaked and all that. And then finally, the third time I made the video, I was like, this is not bad. But I didn't make the video. I deleted all of them. Because now I have a crap ton of experience with this magma. And I can give you a more upfront on it. A lot of people love this magma. Some people say, oh yeah, getting air to the bottom is the best way to get air. It's the best flavor thing because, I mean, look at the cave one, it's the best. No, it's the same shit. Honestly, even if you get air out of the bottom, or the top, or the side, really, that doesn't make a difference. It's good. It's good. Magma has good flavor because the chamber's reduced. Obviously, you're gonna have better flavor. But honestly, does it have better flavor than my Stellaire? I don't think so. I mean, I still think the cake says Stellaire, see? And a Stellaire is a side hole. That's delicious. Excuse me. So Stellaire gets its air from the bottom. You'll see it close up. That's the magma. And this is a 1-to-1 clone. If you guys are out to get atomizers and get clones and are out for clones, make sure you try to get the 1-to-1 clones or as close to the original as possible. There is a massive quality difference between a 1-to-1 and just a regular old clone. This one pretty much tastes, works like the authentic. I did not buy the authentic. I did get to try out the authentic, but it's pretty much spot on. Although this is growing on me. The magma is growing on me. The reason why is the airdrop. The airdrop is like a straw. It has really good airflow. Enough airflow for me to get a lung fill. Great airflow. But here's the thing, it's a different type of airflow. Where as far as the tobe, you get direct air in. You get direct air into your lungs. This one feels like you're breathing through a snorkel, right? It has a snorkel effect. That's because there's a tunnel where the airflow goes here. Where as far as you tobe, it just side airflow directly to the coils, directly into your lungs. This one has to get it from the side, go through those channels, go up to the coil, and then hit the coil, and then it goes up to your lungs. It feels like there's a little bit of restriction, but it's still very airy. I love it. It's a great atomizer, and the way I wick this, I will show you. You don't have to worry about it freaking flooding throughout the side. I can now. This is a dual coil, and this is one of probably the only dual coils where I can just drip down the center and not think about it. It saturates both pretty evenly. It's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in and check her out. Alright guys, so here we are up and close, and then you can kind of see how she performs here. and it performs well, but we're going to go ahead and replace the wick on it for the sake of the video, and it's just about time for me to replace the wick anyways. As you can see, the top unscrews. It's not held in by O-rings, but rather by a screw. The deck shows. Now I can take off the airflow control if you'd like and see how I wicked it. This way of wicking, I figured, is the best because now you get both coils saturated pretty evenly, and you don't have to open the top every time. You can just drip down the center. I believe it's a 0.5 ohm coil, running 4.8. Let's go ahead and snip off one side of the wick here so that it's easy to take out. It is still pretty saturated with juice, so try to just not get my hands too icky here. And this is pretty much the process is pretty much the same. It's really not much of a difference when wicking. There's only at the end, after putting the wicks, there's a certain method that I use that then makes it very good, and I pretty much wick this around close to 50 times, so I'm pretty aware that the best wicking style kind of for this, in my opinion. So again, this is all my opinion. Let's heat up the coils and kind of get all the gunk out, blow it out. Now if you look, the air holes are under the coils. This is a big problem. I think it's a design kind of flaw. At first I did because it kept leaking. Because if juice goes in that air hole, it'll leak through the sides, and that's a big pain in the you-know-what. So this new type of wicking that I do will solve that. Again, I'm burning in the coils, kind of get it clean. And so now we're going to get a piece of wick. So that we can essentially re-wick this. And I just have a cotton ball, and I'm just tearing apart one side of the cotton, unraveling it, and then with that one side, again, snipping it in half. And then now, since I have that piece, I just pull it through like I pull it through with any other wick that I do. Just make sure when you do pull it out to make it kind of skinnier, is you don't make it too skinny, because you still want kind of a tension when you pull it through, so that the wick does hit the inside of that coil pretty well. So there we go, we got one side done. Really not much to it here. All I'm doing is just scrunching up some cotton and pulling it through. Now the trick comes after this. This is where kind of my style of wicking really helped me out. It really saved this atomizer actually, and made it one of my favorite atomizers to use. Even till today I still use this. What I do is that end two tips right there, I fold it over and inside the middle, and what that does is it creates a slant where when you drop the E-juice inside the middle, the E-juice flows down that slant into the well, so it doesn't kind of flood out. Again, omega fruits, obviously it's kind of the best juice in my opinion. Again, obviously I'm going to be kind of biased on that. I'm going to wet it up, and with this style of wicking, it literally just flows the juice inside the well, and while it's flowing inside, it really creates a good saturation on both sides without even looking. So let's go ahead and saturate it a little bit more, and I will show you kind of what I do with this now. It's quite simple, really, but until I actually did this kind of wicking style, it was a pain in the ass. So what I do here is on one side, I'm just going to put it down the well. Okay, so I'm off camera here, but all I'm doing is on one side of it, I'm just shoving it down into the well. Really, there's not much to it. I wish I had done like that. I just push it down, leaving a little bit of room. Now on that back side, like I said before, I'm going over over and inside the middle, creating a slope. So hopefully after I do this, you'll see it. See, I go over and towards the middle, over and towards the middle, while the other end I just shove it straight down the juice well. And what this creates, like I said, is a slant. I'm going to go ahead and juice it up, and I'll show you how exactly it works. This is the most easiest kind of style that I use. See how it slants? On that top side, I went over the coils down towards the center, and there's a gap right there. You want that gap. And the other side is went straight down. What I'm able to do with this now is I'm able to just drip anywhere along that coil. And it'll saturate pretty freaking evenly. But at the same time, any extra juice will go down that well. It will not go to the sides where the air hole is. Now I can put a whole bunch of juice in here, like you can see right now. And all it does is it saturates and pushes the rest of the juice down under. There's no e-juice coming out of that side. So this is it again, just all saturated. And as you can see, there's a pretty defined slant where that wick is. Like this is if you haven't tried this, it's so convenient because once you screw on that top cap, all you have to do is drip down that drip tip, and it just works. It just works. It saturates evenly, and then any extra e-juice, it'll go ahead and fill that well for you. What I've seen works best is about 20 drops. 20 drops is perfect to saturate all the cotton and have a really good well. So this is me after I put on that top cap. Again, 4.8 volts at about 0.5 ohms. Plenty of airflow, plenty of vapor. Freaking fantastic setup. Now I don't usually take off the drip tip when I drip, but just to show you on camera, I'm not even aiming here. I'm using my left drip. I'm just kind of pushing e-juice all over the place, and I'm not really caring about it because I know the way I wicked it, the way the wick is done, is perfect for this this kind of random dripping. See, there's no e-juice leaking from the sides right there. Freaking awesome. I go ahead and pop in that drip tip. Usually you don't need to take off the drip tip, but just for the sake of the video, and it just vapes fantastic. Right now, one of my favorite RDAs, just because how simple it is to drip, how even saturation I get, and it does have good airflow. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back up top. Alright, so you guys saw that. You guys saw how I kind of wicked it, where the wick kind of goes sideways and into the channel instead of spewing the other way, where it will get under the coils and start leaking out of these holes. That's really annoying. But kind of you see the way I wicked it, where one side I just tuck it down to the well, the other side I go up and over on both sides, kind of making a slope, where now if I drip it, because of that slope, it just slopes down into the well. While it's dripping into the well, it just saturates everything perfectly. And I've dripped even 20 drops in here. Usually I drip 20 drops in here, and it does not flood. Now, even wicking it this way, if you put more than 20, 30, it will start spewing out of the side. Obviously, you want to avoid that. It's a big pain in the ass. But it performs. Now what I noticed is it performs very well with a variable wattage, variable voltage device, such as this. This is it's an LKR mod basically, and I'm vaping it at 4.9 volts, 4.8 volts, 4.9, 4.8-ish. This performs perfect. I believe it's a 0.5 ohm coil in here. It's a dual coil. Just, it's flawless. Well, that's it for the Magma. 2 thumbs up for the clone, for the price, for the money. Bang! It does what it does. It tastes very good. Now, it's not. I'm not going to say it's the best tasting RDA. Really, the origins, the flavor is kick-ass. It just doesn't have enough, airflow. Where I drilled it out, and the moment I drilled it out, there it goes. The flavor was shit, right? So, again, it's a balance between airflow, chamber size, and all that. And although this does produce some absolute great flavor, I think it's equivalent to something like the Distiller, which is still pretty much one of my favorite drippers. But right now, what's getting a lot of attention is this Tobe. I've been using this Tobe. I already have a video on the Tobe, and actually the more and more I use it, the more and more I'm liking it. Just 0.8 ohms, 28 watts. like I said, it's a different type of airflow. So that's about all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. The Magma, awesome. I do recommend it.